being misunderstood will be your new superpower. Think about it. We've all done it. You've sent a text, you don't get a reply for a few hours or days, and you suddenly construct a 12-season Netflix drama in your head about why that person hates you. You're scanning your brain for every stupid thing you said, trying to figure out where you lost the plot and where you lost control of your image. We spend about 80% of our energy trying to curate ourselves so we're liked, respected, and understood. But here is the terrifying as well as liberating truth. You have zero control over how people see you. In fact, you aren't even responsible for it. Today, we're going to break down the psychology of why you need to let people be wrong about you. In psychology, there's this concept called projection. Essentially, us humans are incapable of seeing the world objectively. We see the world as we are. We all have internal filters. Every person has a mental filter built from their childhood, their trauma, their current mood, and their experiences. For example, if I'm someone that grew up in a household where success was the only way to get love, I see you taking a nap on a Tuesday afternoon, my brain is going to label you as lazy. Not because you're lazy, but because your rest triggers my own insecurity about productivity. Here's what we can do. When someone judges you, they aren't giving you a report card on your character. They're giving you a tour of their own internal struggles. Here's an example of the math of misunderstanding. Here, we'll compare your intent versus their interpretation. Your actions through their filter of perception. Here's an example of how your words go through their filter. For example, you set a boundary. That goes through the internal filter of the person that hates being told no. They perceive it as you're being mean. You're chasing a dream. That person may be too scared to chase that dream. So to them, you're unrealistic. You take a rest. To a person that's a workaholic, you're just lazy. You see the gap? You can control your intent and you can control your output. But the moment your words leave your mouth and they enter the ears of someone else, they become their property. You cannot manage the mental hardware of another person. But why do we care so much? Well, it's all in evolution. It's in our DNA. Our DNA, being misunderstood, meant being kicked out of the tribe, which meant death. Our brains are hardwired to care. In our modern world, the need to be liked has become a cage, the performance problem. Masking or people-pleasing is actually a form of manipulation. If you are changing yourself to be liked, you're technically being dishonest to get a desired result. It's also exaggerating. The more versions of you that exist in other people's heads, the less you there is for yourself. You are paying for the comfort with your own identity. Here's the thing. There's a solution for it. Number one, release the need to explain. No is a complete sentence. If someone thinks you're difficult because you set a boundary, let them. If you try to explain, you're just asking for their permission to have that boundary. Be okay with being the villain in someone else's story. To the person who wanted to walk all over you, you become the villain the second you say no. If you try to avoid being the villain, you end up being a victim. Choose the cape, take the hit, and move on. Number two, and this one hit me like a stone. Understand the spotlight effect. No one really thinks about us as much as we think they are. People think about us about 10% as much as we think they're thinking about us. Everyone is a protagonist of their own movie. They aren't thinking about your awkward comment. They're thinking about their awkward comment. You're staying up at night worrying about something stupid that you said, and then they also are staying up at night worrying about the stupid thing that they said. Most people are too busy worrying about their own perceived flaws to even notice. Number three, find your truth circle. Identify 2 to 3 people whose opinions actually matter. People who know your heart. If they aren't in that circle, their perception of you is just background noise. Even if they are, don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. When you change for others, you create cognitive dissonance, a mental discomfort in yourself. Every time you adjust your personality to fit someone else's expectations, you are telling your subconscious that who you actually are isn't good enough. You're winning their approval, but you're losing your self-trust. Focus on character, not reputation. Your reputation is what people think of you. Your character is who you really are. Only one of those is under your jurisdiction. There is a massive amount of power in being okay with being the villain in someone else's story. If someone wants to think that you are too much or not enough, let them. It keeps the wrong people away from you. When you stop trying to manage everyone else's perception, you suddenly have all of this extra energy to actually be the person you were trying to pretend to be. The moment you stop caring if they understand you is the moment that you finally become free. Do you understand you? This is a practice, not a switch. You're going to fail at it tomorrow, and that's okay. But the next time you feel like I need to explain myself, next time you get that itch, just take a deep breath and say, that's their business, not mine. If you've ever lost a friend because you finally stood your ground, tell me your story. Let's show each other that being misunderstood isn't the end of the world. It's just the beginning.